You ever wake up thinking today's going to be smooth, sun's out, coffee's hot, nothing in the world can touch you, only to walk outside and realize the universe had other plans? That's what happened to me the morning I found my Ferrari booted in my own damn driveway, a yellow slip tucked under the wiper screaming, "Second warning" in all caps like I was some kind of repeat criminal. No first warning, mind you, just right to the death penalty like they'd been waiting for this moment. I remember just standing there, mug in hand, trying to piece together how the hell a car worth more than most houses ended up shackled like it had robbed a bank. The street was still half asleep, birds chirping, nothing moving but my blood pressure. My neighbor Caroline, mud up to her elbows from gardening, called out, "You got one too." She meant the slip, of course. Turns out half the street had gotten these fake HOA citations, which was news to me because I don't live in any HOA, never signed up for one, never voted for one. "We're Millstone Reserve," I told her. She shrugged. "Doesn't matter. These guys say we're in their jurisdiction now." I glanced down the street and spotted two guys in gray shirts, clipboard black pickup, real generic, like they'd Googled neighborhood enforcement and just went for it. My pulse spiked, couldn't tell if it was caffeine or pure rage. Caroline said they claimed the area got acquired recently, whatever that means. I went inside, hopped on my laptop, tried to look up this so-called Cedar Trails HOA. Nothing. No website, no records. QR code on the ticket didn't even scan. Just vapor smoke and mirrors. By noon, I had a motion camera up over the garage, full HD night vision, the works. I barely slept waiting for something to happen, and at 2:43 a.m. my phone buzzed, motion detected. I watched as those two clowns came back, one kneeling by the Ferrari, the other scribbling on his clipboard, slap a damn boot on my car, and vanish in 30 seconds flat. I replayed the footage until the anger burned itself out. The next morning I stared at the boot, ran my fingers along the cold metal. It wasn't a prank. The tag said I owed $950 and had 24 hours to pay or my car was getting hauled away. No name, no real address, just a phone number. So I called. Got some guy with a monotone voice who called himself enforcement. I asked who the hell gave him the right to touch my property. He rattled off something about Cedar Trails overlay. Sounded official if you didn't know better, but I do. He hung up on me after reminding me the clock was ticking. Yeah, that happened. I didn't panic, didn't yell, just sat down and wrote one sentence to a sealed legal inbox: fraudulent seizure of personal property under false authority. Immediate federal interest. Attached the video, pressed send. See, what they didn't know is that I'm not just some suburban pushover, I'm a federal judge appointed under seal. And now the clock was ticking for them. A black pickup rolled in later, bold as you please, two guys in matching shirts, no badges. I met them at the porch. "You're trespassing," I said. They didn't blink, just rattled off fake HOA codes, acting like I was the crazy one. I told them flat out, touch my car and it's federal property damage. They clamped it anyway, didn't even hesitate. "Most people don't ask for credentials," clipboard guy sneered. "They just pay." A neighbor came out, started filming. I just went inside, labeled the new footage, and pulled up my federal credentials. I wasn't about to waste time with local law. This was already above their pay grade. Things got weird fast. Got a call, block number voice I'd never heard. "You make this official. We make it personal," then a hang-up. Next thing I know, some guy in khakis shows up, says he's from compliance, tries to bribe his way out, promises to pull the boot, asked me to forget the whole thing. I told him he wasn't in any HOA, he was running a scam. He got nervous, hands shaking. I let him sweat. By then my clerk was digging. Turns out this Dominion enforcement group had been doing this up and down the state, always targeting neighborhoods without real HOAs, always betting folks would just pay and stay quiet. I drafted a motion civil fraud emergency docket, had a judge sign it within hours. Dominion's assets froze on the spot. Didn't even get to breathe before Caroline called. Now they'd booted her husband's truck with him inside. One of the thugs pulled something from his waistband. Didn't hurt him, but the message was clear: back off or else. The neighborhood was waking up, yellow slips blooming like weeds, boots popping up everywhere. Some kid ran up, his dad's van had been clamped. He'd caught it all on their doorbell cam. I gave him my burner number, had him send it over. Meanwhile, the enforcers got bolder, hauled in a flatbed, tried to tow the Ferrari right out of my driveway. I warned them, federal freeze on your operations, you're on camera. They didn't care. New logo, New Zone 1 said, trying to outsmart the law with paper and glue. Then the real twist, the threat calls started coming from somewhere near Langley CIA territory, not exactly your average HOA enforcer. My clerk found an old name, Preston Rusk, former behavior modeler for urban enforcement, blacklisted years ago, vanished into the ether, but now back with new shell companies, new scams. Payments laundered through Nevada, then Florida, then into crypto. The deeper we dug, the bigger it got. Multi-state extortion ring, fake citations, booted cars, all running off fear and fake seals. They started knocking on doors, asking who'd called the feds, taking photos of families trying to scare us into silence. That night they left a package on my porch, my old court robe singed along the collar. Subtle as a brick, right? Camilla Hayes, my old contact, the one who built half these federal networks, texted, "They're accelerating, I'm airborne." We started mapping it all, every fake company, every payment, every face. The house blacked out deliberate. I switched to backup power cameras, caught a man in the backyard, crowbar in one hand, forged badge in the other. He just smiled, flashed the fake seal, and vanished. You know what I mean when I say enough is enough? That was my moment. Local cops showed up, young, nervous, took a report. But you could tell they wanted nothing to do with what was going on. A car parked 2 doors down, lights off, someone inside watching the house. Camilla messaged 2 blocks out. We compared notes, followed the money, set a trap. We leaked a fake retreat. Let Rusk think I was folding, let him surface out in Arizona. The guy was cocky enough to show up alone at Camilla's cabin, brag about how nobody reads the fine print, they just obey. He never saw the wire, never heard the silent ping when his face went live to every federal network, every investigator, every victim. We got him talking, got him grinning, then feds swarmed in, game over. Preston Rusk was indicted, 17 counts, wire fraud, racketeering, all of it. They froze his assets, rounded up his cronies, and the neighborhood went back to quiet almost overnight. The Ferrari came home. Flatbed, federal escort. No fanfare. Just put back in its spot, like nothing had ever happened, except for the melted boot they left behind in a sealed box. I put it on my desk, let it sit there. Reminder that power can wear any mask it wants, but truth cuts right through steel. That should have been the end, but it never really is. News broke, a federal judge takes down a fraud empire alone. The clips ran everywhere, 9 million views in a day. My neighbor's daughter thanked me, said her dad paid one of those fake tickets last year, felt ashamed. I told her he wasn't weak, he was targeted. I spoke at a local college, held up the boot, told them next time someone shows up at your door demanding money, ask who, ask why, ask for proof. If they can't give it, tell them, you know how this story ends. And if you're wondering if I smiled at the end, nah, I just put up a new sign by the driveway. This property is protected by truth and cameras. Drilled it in myself, watched the sunset hit the Ferrari's hood, knew the fight was bigger than me. Inside, a new file waited on my desk, labeled Next. Because this game, it never ends. Not as long as people think a badge makes them untouchable. So what do you think? Should we keep letting fear run the block, or is it finally time to clamp down for good? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about where the line between authority and abuse really is and who's going to draw it.